Are the gods of Africa truly angry with the people of Lagos? That is the question on the mind of Demila Kayode, a journalist with the Lagos Confidential. For over a week, the city has been thrown into a spiral of confusion and fear after a series of ritual murders. Three young men had been found dead in a shallow grave, their organs neatly removed and placed in a circle around them. The police were baffled, the residents were terrified, but Demola was intrigued. He had seen enough crime and violence in his years as a journalist to become jaded. So when the police declared the ritual killings as the work of a new religious sect, he didn't bother to investigate, but something about the case kept pulling at him. Something that made no sense. Why would anyone remove someone's heart and place it on their chest? And why exactly were the killers using the traditional method of killing, burying their victims up to their necks and then decapitating them? It was these questions that led Demola to the top of Idamota Hill one afternoon. The hill was famous for two things: its breathtaking view of the entire Lagos metropolis and the presence of the shrine of Osanyan, the Yoruba goddess of the forest. But there were other shrines hidden in the thickets of the hill, shrines dedicated to other deities from the rich oral tradition of the Yoruba people, deities like Shango, the god of thunder, Ogun, the god of iron, and Obatala, the creator god. According to the old folks, all three gods were very powerful and very angry with the people of Lagos. Demola wasn't so sure about the gods, but he knew that someone was using their names to commit horrible crimes. It took him 3 days to find the source of the killings, 3 days of combing through the city's underbelly, talking to informants and following leads, and when he finally found what he was looking for, it wasn't a new religious sect, but a group of very old religious leaders. The Babalawos and Iyanfos had long since abandoned their traditional roles as healers and mediators between the spiritual and physical worlds. Now they dealt in blood and sacrifice and were willing to do anything to appease the gods and claim their power. But even as Dimola closed in on the killers, he found himself drawn deeper and deeper into the world of the Yoruba gods. The closer he got, the more danger he faced, because those who dabbled in blood magic were not the kind of people you wanted to have as enemies. They would stop at nothing to protect their secrets. But Demola was a journalist. Secrets were his business, and besides, he had stumbled onto something big, something that threatened to shake the foundations of modern Lagos. As the body count rose and the media frenzy grew, Demola's investigation took him to the most powerful and influential people in the state, people who had sacrificed their souls for wealth and power and now had to pay the price. In the end, it was a story that would change his life forever, a story that would force him to choose between the world of the living and the world of the dead. For Demila Kayode, uncovering the truth about the ritual killings in Lagos was just the beginning. He had unwittingly opened a door to the spiritual realm, a realm where the lines between good and evil, life and death were blurred, and as the full story of the ritual killings unfolded, he would come face to face with the dark side of human nature and the terrifying power of the gods. What he found out would shock him to his core. The gods were real. They had been watching and waiting for centuries, and now they were making their presence felt in the most brutal and horrifying way possible. And as the body count continued to rise, Demola knew he had to act fast to stop the killings. But how do you fight an enemy you can't see, an enemy that's more powerful than you can imagine? Stay tuned for the next episode of Demola's story. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any updates. Also, give us a like if you enjoyed the story and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.